right. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and get started tonight. Thank you very much for joining us on our Tackle Your Transfer webinar, talking about everything related to being a transfer student coming into Kansas State University. I'm Jennifer Pfortmiller, and I'd like to again welcome you. Thank you for spending your evening with us tonight, and I will show you the rest of the people that are on our call tonight. If you want to go to the next slide, you can see who all is involved here. So again, I'm Jennifer Pfortmiller. I'm the admissions and enrollment coach for Kansas State University Online. With us tonight, we've got Andrew Wimp. He is the assistant director for transfer recruitment, and we'll be talking about a lot of the issues and things related to transferring to K-State. Also on the webinar, we've got Sarah Kells, an admissions rep with K-State Online, and Roxanne Kennedy, another admissions rep with K-State Online. And so we'll be a team of 4. We'll be able to answer all of your questions and be able to just interact with you throughout this webinar. If you do have some questions, there is a Q&A section down at the bottom of your Zoom screen. And at that place, you can enter any questions. Do that at any point that they pop into your mind. We may be able to answer them while the presentation is going on. Otherwise, we'll make sure we answer them at the end. So feel free to put in any of your questions at that particular spot. We will have a couple little polls here to find out more about you, but the next screen is going to show you what our agenda is. And so for tonight, we're going to spend about 30 to 45 minutes going over some topics related to transferring your credit into Kansas State University. We'll allow about 10 to 15 minutes for questions there at the end. And we've kind of gone over the different parts of the Zoom webinar features with the Q&A. And so we'll be able to interact with you at that point. We will have a few poll questions to try to get to know you as our audience tonight. And as a reminder, this is being recorded. So we will be able to send this link out to everybody who's registered. If you're attending tonight and you have questions or we covered something pretty fast, you'll be able to go back and review that part of it. Or if you're not able to be here tonight, we'll obviously have that out for people to watch this particular recording. Okay, then the next slide after that, we're going to get to know you a little bit. Or actually, we're going to talk about the topics. These are the things that we're going to cover. We're going to cover who transfer students are, why we think you should transfer to K-State, how to go about the application process, how to apply at K-State. We're going to talk about how we utilize and evaluate all of your transfer credit and all the different ways that you can bring transfer credit into K-State. We'll go through a little bit about the admissions and the enrollment process at K-State, talk about some of the neat programs that we have specifically for transfer students, which would be like Direct Link, and then the services, support systems that we have in place for all students, but especially transfer students. And then we'll end it with some of the important dates to be thinking about, particularly application deadline dates and scholarship deadline dates. All right, so now to get to know you a little bit, we're going to launch a poll. We'd like to know, where are you transferring from? Are you bringing in credit from an institution that's within the state of Kansas or outside of the state of Kansas, or even potentially outside of the United States? So if you don't mind filling out that poll here, kind of get an idea of where your transfer credit would be coming from. Give a few seconds to have that particular poll completed. Perfect. All right. Thank you, everybody, for filling that out. Okay, so next slide. Who are transfer students? Well, we consider transfer students to be anybody who's completed 24 credit hours or more from an institution after high school, that you've taken credit after high school. So post-secondary work, 24 credit hours or more, you'd be considered a transfer student. Why are people transferring? Well, they may transfer for a lot of reasons, and this might appeal to you as well. You could change institutions because of either location, or you find in a program that's a special niche program, something that you wanted to do different, or you just have a lot of travel around and need a different place to attend and finish up your degree. So a lot of reasons that people would transfer from one institution to another. And it may be that you're coming from a 2-year institution going to a 4-year institution. So a lot of reasons for being a transfer student. We have seen some of the research out there, and this is information from 2020. It was from WES and Aslan Market Research. And we found out that about 87% of all people entering an online program in particular are going to be transferring credit in. And so that's pretty typical to what we see at K-State, that a lot of people are bringing in transfer credit to our particular online programs. So I think we'll move on to the next slide. And this one is also going to try to test the waters and see how many previous institutions have you attended. So how many transcripts would you have? And if you want to take a look there, we've got options anywhere from 0 to more than 5. And I would tell you, we have seen people that could even bring in as many as 14 to 16 different transcripts because they've had a lot of different changes in their life. But on average, it's probably about 3 to 4 transcripts per student that we see. So just trying to take a look at what types of numbers that you would have. And looks like this audience is pretty similar to the average of how many transcripts that you would have. Okay, at this point, I'm actually going to turn the program over to Sarah Kells, the admissions rep for K-State Online, and she will go through the next set of slides. But again, thank you and welcome to this webinar.
Thanks, Jennifer. Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah Kells. I work with a majority of our undergraduate degrees and programs with K-State Online. And I'm just going to kind of go over our different online programs that we offer and just kind of the transfer admissions process a little bit in the next few slides. So K-State Online, we have 23 unique online bachelor programs, as well as a number of certificate programs and minors that you can do all online. What's really nice about our online programs is that you can access them whenever you want. It's available 24/7 through our Canvas platform, and there's not going to be a specific day or time that you would attend class. You really would log in to your class whenever is available for you. So we really create this for adult learners, or what they call non-traditional learners. So anyone that has, families or jobs, any other responsibilities outside of education, we try to make that really flexible for you. You also get to decide on the amount of courses that you want to enroll in for the semester. Most of our classes are going to be 16 weeks long. We do follow the traditional semester length, but you can occasionally find some 8-week courses available. But as an online student, a lot of our students, a majority actually, are part-time, which is less than 12 credit hours. So again, it is completely up to you on the amount of credit hours that you want to enroll in each semester. And that's something that your advisor, once you're admitted, can help you with. All right, so I'm going to go through some of our online degrees. First one is one of our very popular ones, our animal science and industry. So if you have a love of animals, animal nutrition, this is very popular because there is a pre-vet option. So for those that are wanting to go that veterinarian route, this would be a great degree option. The Applied Business and Technology Bachelor, this is built for those that have gone to technical schools or trade schools and earned their associates there, but they want to use those credits to transfer in to get a bachelor degree. And you can complete a bachelor taking mostly business classes with this program. Aviation management is one of our many aviation degrees through our aerospace and technology campus, but it is available online. If that's something that you're interested in, we can get you in touch with that campus. Our business administration bachelor degree is a great general business degree that you can personalize to an area that you want to focus on. Data analytics, human resource management, marketing, and operations supply chain management are the 4 concentrations for that. For those of you that are wanting to become a registered dietitian, we do have an online dietetics program, and that's one that Jennifer specifically works with students on. So if that's something you're interested in, Jennifer is going to be a great resource for that degree. The digital innovation and media bachelor degree, that is going to really focus on digital marketing, and also a little bit of computer science. In that program, there is a computer science certificate within that program. So that's a really great option if you're looking in that direction. Next, you can see there are a few of our education degrees, early childhood education, which helps you earn your birth through kindergarten teaching certificate in the state of Kansas. And also the elementary education, which will help you earn your K through 6 teaching license in the state of Kansas. But these are transferable to other states. There just might be an extra test that your state department might have you take. If you're not really interested in a teaching license, the educational studies is a really great option if you're wanting a non-classroom role, but want to work with schools, community centers, Boys and Girls Club is a good one. So that would be a good option as well. Food science and industry, that's also another one of our more popular ones. And so that one is built for those that want to work with food, obviously, but the creation and science behind that as well. Um, and exploratory tracks, I'm sorry, I skipped that one. This actually used to be named open options, though, but we now call it exploratory track because it's really you as a student trying to find, what you want to do. So if you're not sure, we're happy to help you. We're happy to get you at least admitted into that exploratory track and then work with an advisor on something that will work for you. Human development and family science. This is for those of you that want to study and work in areas and careers such as maybe counseling. I know it's a great option for those that are wanting to maybe go on to grad school as well for social work, therapy. So that is a good stepping stone bachelor degree for that area. Integrated computer science, we all know that computer science is, you can't do anything without computers. We're on one right now. So, computer science, this is a great one because it does not have the math and science requirements that the engineering computer science degree has. But it's also very custom. So you don't have to do, if you're not a big math or science person, but you still love computers, this is a great option. And it's great for transfer students because there is a very customizable concentration within that. So if you may be focused on business or education, history, you can actually use those transfer credits from that area and use that as the concentration part. Kinesiology, so those of you that are wanting to maybe do physical therapy, occupational therapy, pre-med, anything like that, the kinesiology would be a really great option for you to study that, but also get those prerequisites that you might need if you want to go on to grad school. Machine learning and autonomous systems. So this, I sum it up, AI. AI is big right now. And so that is a great degree through our aerospace and technology campus. So that if that is an area that you're wanting to, we can get you more in touch with them to discuss that program in more detail. Nutrition and health. This one is kind of goes along with dietetics, but if you're not wanting to go through that registered dietitian plan, but you're wanting to maybe work at the health department or in that nutrition area, that is going to be a great degree for you. Schools always need nutritionists as well, so that would be helpful. Organizational management is through our College of Business. So if you're wanting to really focus on managing, that would be the degree for you. Personal financial planning, if you're really like finance, but you love working with people, that's a great degree as well. So you can help them plan for the future. Professional aviation, another aviation program through our aerospace technology campus. And then finally, social science bachelor degree. So that is going to focus on those social sciences like history, psychology, sociology, um, anthropology. This is a great option for those that are like me, because this is actually what I majored in. I kind of jumped around all over the place, wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. And so this is really a very customizable degree. And so it's a great option for those that have a lot of credits and maybe you just want to get your degree done. I spent all this time in college, I want to be done. So it's a great option for that. All right, time for our last poll. So, which degree are you interested in? I know I just named a lot. So, if you can't remember, you can kind of just put the area. That way, we can put in kind of what you're interested in, so we get to know you better. I know there were a lot, and we also do have a lot of minors in those areas as well that really go along with those. And that's something that you can discuss more with your advisor once you're admitted and they can find a perfect one. Maybe you've taken some in that area and you really enjoyed it. All right. Awesome. Those are coming in. All right. Awesome. Thanks, everybody. A lot everywhere. All right, we'll go ahead and move on, and I'll talk a little bit about the application process. So here you're going to see the steps for the transfer application admissions process, and I'm going to talk through these a little more detail over the next few slides. The first is uh, definitely, of course, find your major. I just talked about all the degrees that we offer. So once you find your major, then applying for admission would be your next step. And that includes completing the admission application, paying for the application fee, and having transcripts and documents sent to us for evaluation. So this way you can see how your previous classes transferred. Definitely look at those scholarships, financial aid opportunities, and see what is available, and then ultimately enrolling in classes at K-State with the help of your academic advisor. All right. So we just talked about all those different degree options. Make sure to inquire about the degree that you're interested in. And this is where Jennifer, Roxanne, and I can help. If you have questions specifically about a degree, we're really, that is something that we'd like to talk with you more one-on-one. But we're, again, definitely find the Q&A down at the bottom for any questions as we kind of go through everything. But afterwards, we're happy to help as well. Another thing to consider is what semester do you want to start? We do have our summer semester starting at the beginning of June. There are some intersession classes that might get in May, but most of them are going to start in June. But we also have the fall and the spring semester start dates. It's never too early to start planning what start date works best for you because there's different deadlines for admissions and scholarship applications. So the earlier the better. This way you're not rushing and you're not forgetting anything. So for applying, your first step is to submit an application. This is going to ask you a few questions, but there are a couple of things that I really do want to point out. We do ask that you disclose all of your previous institutions that you have earned credits from. We want to make sure that our main admissions office is looking out for those transcripts from these schools as they come in. Also, please make sure that you put in any previous names for that same reason, such as a maiden name. This way, there's no delays when those transcripts arrive and they may have a previous name that you've had. There are going to be sections that ask you for all this information, but just be sure to fill those out if they pertain to you. There is an application fee. So for domestic students here in the US, it's $40. For international students, it's an $80 fee. However, if you have previously enrolled and completed classes with K-State or have paid the fee within the last year and you're reapplying, you will not have to pay that application fee again. And if you have questions about that, we can always look that up and help you with that. The last thing that you'll need to do is complete your application, is requesting your official transcripts from all previous institutions. So for them to be official transcripts, they do need to come directly from your previous institution. Student issued or personal copies are not going to be considered official, and the admissions office won't accept those. So make sure that you request those through them, or some schools use a third party like Student Clearinghouse or Parchment. Those we do accept. If you're a military student who has military credits, be sure to have those sent to us, those transcripts or JST. Though that way we can, take those into account as well, along with also any CLEP, AP tests, or any other exams that you would definitely want to have those during the application process. For international applicants, though, we do accept international credits. We would need those translated into English, though. But these can be unofficial transcripts because we have found that it is difficult to find official ones. So for international students, we would accept unofficial transcripts. Transcripts and documents can be mailed, faxed, but email is, of course, going to be faster. All right. And now I believe I'm going to hand it over to Andrew.
Hi, thanks, Sarah. I was introduced earlier, my name's Andrew, and I am the assistant director for transfer recruitment here at K-State. So I work with a lot of the different teams on the admissions side, working with the teams that process our applications, process your transcripts, work with the transfer equivalency tools, and all those types of resources that we have available to you. So now that you're looking at this, and one of the biggest things is knowing how your courses will transfer. So first, there's a few different things that we look at for your coursework when we're looking at its transferability. And at the basic level, we do need it to be regionally accredited from a regionally accredited institution. So out there are 6 different regional accrediting bodies that provide institutions of higher education a certain ranking that signifies the quality and rigor of those courses. So you may see regional versus national accreditation. They are not the same thing. Again, we're really looking for regionally accredited institutions. We do need you to earn a C or higher. Depending on certain classes, some Ds will be accepted towards transfer, but for the majority, you do need to have a C or higher on those. Here at K-State, your GPA does not transfer, but it is necessary for those admissions decisions and any scholarships. So when you send in all your transcripts, we'll go off of that GPA for those 2 factors. But then when you start at K-State, you'll get your K-State GPA that we'll use for everything moving forward. To gain admissions to K-State as a transfer student, you do need a 2.0 on all that transferable work. That's why it's very important that you send and report all of your previous institutions and sending in all those transcripts. There are certain programs that do require a higher GPA. So if you're thinking about a program and that's something that you're worried about, reach out to your admissions representative and they'd be able to help you out to identify if that's the case for you. And then some degrees do require specific courses or prerequisites before applying. So again, making sure that you check in with your admissions representatives so there's no surprises along the way to see what degrees might require those special prerequisites to apply. So at K-State, we do have a variety of tools to assist our transfer students. And they're kind of listed out here, and we'll talk a little bit more in depth on each one of these. But we do have our transfer equivalency site, which allows you to search course by course on how your courses are going to transfer. We have our transfer pathways, which you can then identify curriculum and how it transfers. We have our direct link program, which is our dual advising program. And then we also have reverse transfer opportunities for our in-state Kansas Community College transfer students. So as promised, we'll start off with the transfer equivalency tool. So if you go to our website, www.k-state.edu/transfer-credit, you'll fall onto this page here that looks like this. For the transfer equivalency tool, you'll click the search by course function over on the left-hand side that's circled here, and that will take you to our transfer equivalency tool. From here, you're able to search for a specific institution that you're attending. So for this example, we searched for Barton Community College, and from there, it'll list out all the transferable courses that we have are already evaluated in the system for Barton Community College. So as you can see, there's a variety of accounting classes on the left-hand side. All the Barton Community College classes on their left-hand side, the K-State equivalent courses there in the middle. So that'll identify what one course at the community college will equal to one course at K-State. You'll see that there might be a variety of these. So you'll have some that have a specific course listed under K-State. That is the specific course that course from the community college will come into K-State as. You may see a few that are like accounting 1***. These mean that they will transfer to K-State, but they'll be used as a departmental elective. And then there are a few courses out there that have no transfer course to K-State, and those won't transfer to K-State. Typically, those are courses that we just don't have any sort of program or any related field available at K-State. The other things on the screen here, the begin date are just showcasing when those equivalencies were made. If the begin date is blank, that means that it's always been that way since we went digital. So we will move forward on that. Let's say you are searching for a course, and this is very, very common for our out-of-state transfer students coming from an institution not in Kansas, is that you may find that there's not all your courses listed under your institution. If that is the case, above on the transfer equivalency tool, you can click the transfer course evaluation request form. And this allows you to submit the syllabi for the courses that you would like to have evaluated. So when you click that form, you're able to fill out the evaluation, fill out all the information to have that course evaluated. Again, we do require that you have to have a syllabus for each of those courses that you're having evaluated, so we can have the departments look at those courses and best determine what that would be coming to K-State. So when you're submitting a course syllabi, this is what we're kind of looking for on that syllabi. Typically, we do need the name of the institution. So what institution are we bringing this from? The course name and number for that course, professor's name, course topics, so those learning outcomes for that. What was the grading scale? If there was any book information. And typically the biggest question that some folks have is, how do I obtain this syllabus? It's been a few years, I don't have it anymore. These are typically, they can be obtained through the registrar or the department of your previous institution. They are required to keep these on file for several years, so they should have them available for you to obtain and send over to us. So how are other credits going to transfer? So we do allow for a wide variety of credits by exam, and we do have a website out there that you can go and see what those look like. So AP, CLEP, IB, all of those are different tests that are available to earn credit through those exams. And out here on this website, you're able to see each of those courses and what is the required test score to obtain a credit here at K-State. Sarah kind of mentioned this earlier, but the international transcripts, if you're submitting any of those, we do need those to be translated to English for those transcripts to be reviewed. And this is just kind of an example of CLEP credit and how those testing scores work. So taking the CLEP exams, what those would be, what is the score that you need to obtain, and what would the equivalent be at K-State in terms of a course. So if we go back to our transfer credit website, on the right-hand side is a search by curriculum function, and this takes you to our transfer pathways. So this is a tool that we've had for quite some time, but lately we've went through a remodel on it, an update for it, and this is what it kind of looks like. So when you click on that search by pathway tool button here, you'll be guided to a website that has a list of all these various different community colleges. Right now we have several of them built out for all of our Kansas community colleges and several of our surrounding communities in neighboring states as well. So you're able to click on your institution. So for this example, we're looking at Johnson County Community College, and it pulls up a list of all the available transfer pathways that we have built and available to you. So you can click on the individual individual program that you're working with. So for this example, we clicked on accounting, and it'll outline all the transferable courses that will work towards an accounting degree at K-State. So the different English requirements are shown here, the communication, math, and it'll work all the way down through our different major requirements that you can fulfill at a community college. Another tool that we have available for students is DirectLink, and DirectLink is our dual advising program. So if you're maybe thinking about transferring in the next couple semesters and you're wanting to make sure that you're on track as you progress through your time at your current institution, DirectLink might be a great resource for you. It's really able to allows you to build an individualized plan to really make sure that you're honing in on your success when you make that transfer. You're paired with a academic advisor that can look at your current courses that you've already taken. You can work through different degree plans, talk about the different programs that might be the best fit for you at K-State, and help you be aware of a few different other resources such as reverse transfer. A few of the benefits that you do get with being a member of the DirectLink program, when it comes time to apply, you do get your application fee waived, which is a nice benefit, as well as direct interaction with a K-State advisor as early as you're wanting to plan that transition. So the process how it works, if you go to the DirectLink website, you're able to fill out an online application where then you'll be contacted with by our coordinator for transfer transition programs, who will then send you a welcome email and connect you with that academic advisor, as well as have you complete our student agreement so we can share information freely between you and your current institution. You'll also receive various different semesterly update emails and different communications from our office just to make sure that you're being taken care of along the way. And then one thing that I kind of alluded to a few slides ago was our reverse transfer process. So this is available for students who are transferring from a community college before they complete that associate's degree. So maybe you didn't fulfill all the requirements to complete your associate degree, that's fine, and you decide to come to K-State. What that does is allows us to take your credits that you earn at K-State, transfer them back to your previous community college, and still earn that associate's degree. So it's really building a building block of degrees and allows you to further progress through a career and have that additional recognition through that degree. And how this works is once you're admitted and enrolled, you're able to go into your student portal where you can opt in for this opportunity and be on the lookout and read emails from the registrar's office, as they will, once you meet the requirements for the reverse transfer, they will send those credits back to your community college. And I think that is it. I'll pass it over to Roxy.
Howdy, that's me. All right, thank you so much, Andrea. I appreciate it. So my colleagues have been sharing really fantastic resources about all great K-State stuff. I'm going to add a couple more resources, and then we'll kind of turn it over for questions for y'all. So really a big question that a lot of our students have is, okay, what do scholarships and financial aid look like? There's really two primary resources for scholarships for K-State Online students. So as a K-State student, generally, you have access to the K-State Scholarship Network, or KSN. So there's a lot of great resources you can find there, but we also have specific scholarships for online students. So if you're looking for additional scholarship resources, this is one thing we wanted to kind of talk about and highlight. You will notice, so the application deadline for summer scholarships has passed. It was at the beginning of this month in April, but if you're looking for fall scholarships, that deadline is a little over a month away, June 1st. So if you're looking at getting, scholarship funding and you're like, hey, I want to start in the fall, or I'm going to be starting in the summer, but want to look at fall funding, feel free to reach out to us and let us know, because we want to get you applied for scholarships. And we do have very hard deadlines with those. So make sure that you're adhering to the deadlines and that they will come quicker than you may expect. So just be, checking in with that. And if you're looking for scholarship money, June 1st, fall deadline, write it down. It will be really important. Next slide, please. Fabulous. So you've applied with us, you're admitted. Really, what next is a lot of questions students have. So if you're admitted, you'll receive an admissions decision in your email. So that's typically going to say, something along the lines of, you've been accepted, or hey, an update's been added to your application. Please check that. So please be sure you're checking your email, just keeping an eye out for it. Typically, you'll receive an admissions decision within 4 weeks of you applying, after we have all of your application materials. So if you apply, but you don't send us transcripts or haven't finalized your other documents, you won't hear a response. And you'll probably hear Sarah, Jennifer, or I say, hey, we want to check in with you because you're missing something and we want to get you reviewed. But that's going to be really the next step after you apply. You wait to hear an admissions decision. Once you get an admissions decision, sometime about a week afterwards, you'll be getting more kind of next step information in a follow-up email. And the next thing you're going to do is create your EID, or student login credentials. I know someone had a question about that in our Q&A earlier. That EID is going to be your access to all K-State systems that you're going to need as a student. Your email, your KSIS account, how you go to classes. So it's really important that you set up your EID, and instructions will be kind of sent on how to do that. Once you have your EID active, then afterwards your K-State email will activate. That's going to be your main hub of resources. I will tell you now, start loving your K-State email when you have it. I say this as someone that was a K-State student myself. You're going to have so many important things sent to you in that K-State email. Instructors are going to contact you. We'll reach out with resources, and different offices will contact you. Please be sure that you're checking your email. If you're the type of person that's like, I check my email once a month, I'm totally fine. That probably won't work with K-State. I will encourage you to check your email consistently, because we're always sending important resources to you, and some of them are time sensitive. So we want to make sure you're responding in a timely manner. After you have your email activated, sometime afterwards, you'll be sent an email about online student orientation. So this will look a little bit different for certain programs, but it is a requirement for online students. You have to complete orientation in order to be paired with your academic advisor. So if you have questions on this call, you're like, well, I haven't heard from my advisor yet. All of us will say, well, have you done your orientation? And so please be sure you're doing your orientation. It will teach you fantastic tips about how to just be an online student. It will teach you tips on how to enroll, how to pay your bills, how to manage classes. And so it is really important. We do have, really great things in orientation for you. From there, other things you'll want to start doing when you have your EID is, access your KSIS account, your student portal. There's going to be a ton of resources in that portal. So make sure that it's working okay for you. When you work with your advisor, you'll run a DARS report, which is a degree audit. So just seeing what your transfer credits were from your previous institutions, how it plugs into your K-State degree, and then what your degree timeline will look like. And then you'll enroll in classes, the fun, exciting thing that everyone's super pumped about. And I'll go to the next slide, please. So we wanted to share a couple transfer student tips for y'all. So we've kind of talked on some of these things, but just re-emphasizing them. The first thing I'm going to say is start early. If you're the kind of person that you're like, okay, well, I submit homework assignments at 11:59 the night before a homework assignment is due. A, I've been that person, so I won't judge you. B, don't do that with your application to K-State. We do want to encourage students to start as early as possible because that's going to give you time to get your documents sent to us and make sure that everything is secure and good to go on your end and on our end. So giving yourself ample time in the application process is only a benefit. So I would encourage you to start applying early and thinking about applications early, just so you're not kind of getting stressed by the last minute rush. You'll want to request all of your official transcripts to be sent to us, CLEP scores, military credits, JSTs, all that good stuff. So if you have a question about, well, should I send this thing? The answer is probably going to be yes, but feel free to check in with us and ask, like, hey, what do you exactly need? Usually when you apply, there will be a checklist of documents you need to send to us, but it's good to just ask as well. You'll want to review the transfer credit tools that Andrew was sharing. So if you have questions about specific credits or your institution, you're welcome to start looking at those resources now. They're free and available on our website to start looking at. So yeah, take advantage of the great work that Andrew and Andrew's team's been doing. So again, like Andrew said, if you're looking to get a course evaluation for a certain course, make sure you're starting to grab those syllabi from your previous schools. So checking in with your registrar's team or your current academic advisor at your school saying, well, I want to double check about this class, or I'm not really sure about this one, so let's start grabbing the syllabi for it now. Stay connected with your academic advisors and your admission reps. Sarah, Jennifer, and I, we are all pretty wonderful people. We'd love to hear from you. So if you have questions about this process, feel free to reach out to us. We're only here to help you, and I promise we're not scary. So yeah, like reach out to us at any point in time. I know I'm always happy to get like a, Roxy, I've got a question. Can you please help me? I'm like, yes, that's what I'm here to do. Make sure you're setting up your K-State profiles, your EID, checking your email, your personal and your K-State email while you're applying. But once you're admitted as a student, your K-State email is going to be the primary thing we'll send resource information to. Next slide, please. I also just wanted to emphasize kind of how we serve students. So you're looking at 4 fantastic resources right now. So Jennifer, Sarah, Andrew, and I, we are all here to help you as students, prospective and admitted. So the work that we do in recruitment as recruiters and admissions and enrollment coaches with the admissions team. So transcript evaluators, people who are working through your documents, people that are helping give communication to you. We're all here as resources. So if you have a question and you don't know where to go, please feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to either answer them or get you connected to the people who can help. So never feel like there's a bad question. Never worry about, okay, well, I don't know if I should ask this to y'all. I promise we're happy to help answer the questions. You also have fantastic advising resources. So your academic advisor is going to help you through your entire time at K-State. So if you have academic questions, they're going to be awesome resources. Do your orientation first so you can meet them. And then we've got fantastic resources with financial aid, technology, and military student services. So you have a financial aid advisor. So if you have questions about FAFSA or how do I pay for school, you've got a person with our financial aid team who's happy to help. Our IT team has been wonderful in all of the work that's happened, really with just like all of our online stuff we do on our day-to-day. So if you have questions about how do you access classes as an online student, or, oh, my systems aren't up to date, so I can't, do a recording for this assignment, they're happy to assist with those things. And then if you're someone who's military connected and has questions about VA benefits, GI benefits, anything regarding your military benefits, feel free to let us know. We have a wonderful colleague who works with military resources and can help you with any sort of tuition benefit questions you have. Important dates. If I can encourage you to walk away with one slide of information, it's going to be this snapshot right here. So you'll notice the first date we have on here is only 2 weeks away. So really be mindful if you're looking to apply for summer 2024, you're like, Roxy, that was a fantastic webinar. I want to go to K-State immediately. You have a very small window of time to finish that application. So let's start talking about you submitting your application for summer. So application deadline, it's a hard deadline of May 1st. So if you have questions about wanting to get started, let's discuss if it's going to be a reasonable thing to start in the summer, or we look at a fall application. The summer term is going to start pretty quickly afterwards. So summer 2024 is when classes will start. May 20th is when summer 2024 classes will start. Then you're looking at June 1st is that scholarship deadline I mentioned earlier for the fall. So if you're looking for fall scholarships, you have a little bit more than a month to apply, and the application window is live right now. So if you're wanting to start applying for fall scholarships, you've been admitted as a K-State student, let's start looking at resources with that. It does close June 1st. If you're looking to apply for fall 2024 start terms, August 1st is our hard deadline for that. So yes, it's a couple months away, but that date will come rapidly. And so if you're, not paying attention to it, or you're like, oh, I can wait until like, end of July to start this process, let's start talking now. Let's start getting applications started, because you'll be surprised. The summer will go by quickly. It does for us every year. Fall classes will begin August 19th. So if you're joining us in the fall or looking to start, that's going to be when you're going to start taking classes for the most part. November 1st is going to be the spring scholarship deadline. So if you're looking for scholarships for the next academic year the spring of this next academic year, that's going to be the deadline for that. So if you're looking at spring scholarships, let us know. We can start talking about them. They're not open yet, but they will be soon. And then looking at if you're wanting to start, say, spring of next year, the application deadline is going to be January 1st. And if you're someone that's like, hey, I'm going to wait to the last second, that's definitely not going to work, because holidays are like right before that deadline. So if you're looking for spring start dates, again, feel free to contact us and let us know. We can start the process of discussing like, okay, what's going to be next steps for you, and when should you start looking at applications? And then classes for the spring begin January 21st. All right, next steps. You're ready to apply. You've loved the time that you've had here. You're like, okay, I'm feeling good about K-State. That's our hope with this webinar. But if you're looking at like next steps, really the next thing you're going to want to do is start looking at our websites, start asking questions if you don't know where to start or where to go. We've been sharing wonderful resources in the chat. We've been answering questions during the Q&A, but feel free to go to any of our websites or reach out to us with questions. As we discussed earlier, this webinar will be available in about 7 to 10 business days. So if you're overwhelmed by all the information we said, that's okay. I know we shared a lot of stuff, but you're going to be able to go back and rewatch this and hear all of our beautiful voices over and over again if you'd like to. And then as a thank you to people who attended this webinar, so if you're wanting to apply for the summer or fall 2024 semesters, you will be receiving an app fee waiver. You need to contact us and request that. So don't just apply and be like, well, I'm getting the free waiver. You will want to ask us just so we can add that to your account. And unfortunately, this doesn't apply to dietetic students. So it's our online programs otherwise, but if you have any questions, again, feel free to reach out to Sarah, Jennifer, or myself. And I think that's all my slides. Yeah, everyone, thank you so much for attending. And I'm going to turn it over to Sarah, but y'all, thank you for your time this evening.
It was so weird to hear 2025. I can't believe we're already looking at that. All right, well, go ahead, everybody, and put in some last minute questions there. I'll go ahead and go through the ones that have come in. This one, I'm embarrassed to say, I was second guessing myself. Is direct link only available for those attending Kansas community colleges?
Yeah, Sarah, that was actually a recent change that we implemented. So it
Okay.
is open to all current transfer students. The one caveat is if you're coming outside of a Kansas community college, you'll probably have to work with your academic, the advisor that we assign you to work through those course evaluation requests, as we may not have all your courses that you've taken evaluated. So, but it's a really great way to make sure that when you do apply, you'll already have all those courses evaluated and have a great understanding of what to expect when you make that transfer.
Thank you. I thought that was it, but I was like, I am so second guessing myself right now. All right. Our next one, if we have already signed up for summer classes, when should we be looking for financial aid offers? Who would like to take that one?
I can take that one. So financial aid does take about 4 to 6 weeks to process. So it may just depend on when you've applied with FAFSA, your information. If you were already admitted and you already had your FAFSA information at FAFSA already submitted, then the night that you're admitted, we pull down that information for financial aid. However, it takes 4 to 6 weeks for when that happens. So kind of depends on when you've applied for financial aid as to when K-State gets it, and then give 4 to 6 weeks. So it's not a quick process, unfortunately. And I don't know exactly when you applied, but that's something that if you wanted to visit with us, You can also talk to your academic advisor about that if you're in conversations with your academic advisor. So that might be a question we can maybe research a little bit more individually if you want to reach out to us one-on-one, and we can see where you're at with that. But in general, 4 to 6 weeks. There was another question that I saw, and maybe would have Andrew work on that. I did type an answer to it, but the question was, how many credit hours can you transfer and the maximum amount of credit hours? And there's different rules for community colleges and four-year institutions. But Andrew, if you want to touch on that real quick and have another viewpoint on that.
You can bring in as many credit hours as you would like, but only 60 can be applied to your degree without any sort of exception being made. So that's where the 60 comes in. You can bring in as many as you would like. So if you are coming in with more than 60, that's fine, but only 60 can be applied to your four-year degree.
And to kind of elaborate on that, we picked the best 60. So
Yes.
if you start out, say, in dietetics, we're going to pick the best 60 that pertain to those degree requirements. But if you change your major to animal science or business, then they'll maybe pick a different 60. And that comes from the community college. And I'd also probably add a little bit more, as I did in the typing, that we can also take another 30 from a four-year institution. Do you want to talk about that, Andrew?
Yeah, so we can so it's 60 credit hours that we can take from a two-year institution, and we can take up to oh my gosh, math, 30 more, yes, Jennifer, 30 more from another four-year institution. So that is the different requirements. And then you also have to have 45 upper level credit hours, so that's 300 or above. So you can take those from either a four-year institution or from K-State.
I'll jump into this next question. So I see in the Q&A, someone asked if we've already applied, is there a way to get an app fee waiver still? Unfortunately, no, sorry. Yeah, this is an offer for people that attended the webinar, and it's for people that haven't paid yet. And then another note that I don't think I included previously. So typically those app fee waivers are for degree seeking students. So if you're applying to a bachelor's degree, in some cases, please feel free to reach out if you're like, I have a specific circumstance, but usually those app fee waivers are only for our degree seeking students, not our non-degree or certificate applicants. And then I saw Sarah, yeah, please.
Yeah, the next question kind of follows it really nicely. How long does the application fee get waived after applying? Since it was said that if it was waived for recent applicants. So if you're attending tonight, you will just want to email us before you apply saying, I attended the webinar, I would like my application fee waiver. That way we can do that. Make sure that you do not pay the fee waiver because we cannot reimburse. So if you do attend and you're wanting that application fee waived, do not put your credit card information in. Also, so if you have applied in the last and paid the fee in the last year. So for example, today's April 18th. If you paid since April 18th of last year, applied and paid that fee, it would roll over onto your new application. Your application fee is good for 1 year. If for some reason it's been a couple years and you never completed any classes with us, you would have to pay it again. But if you are a past student who has completed courses with us, you will not have to ever pay that application fee again. And that's something that we can, hopefully that made sense, but we can always discuss that with you individually and look up if you have applied in the past. Another application fee question. For how long does the application fee get waived after applying? Oh, I did that one. Sorry. This one, if life happens, can I take a break and come back without reapplying? Also, are teachers flexible if I miss a few days or a week? So, I'll go ahead and start, and everybody's probably going to have something else to add. So definitely, if you take a break, so let's say you have 1 or 2 semesters, and like you said, life happens. You have a baby, you maybe have a job change, or a parent that's ill. Life happens. You can take a break and come back. You would just have to reapply for admission. Like I said, you would not have to pay the application fee, and you would not have to have your transcripts resent. The only if you went and took classes elsewhere since you were last here will you have to have new transcripts sent to us. But yeah, you can definitely come back, but you do have to reapply. Um, and we can definitely help you with that as well. For teachers, missing a few days or a week. So the good thing about our online classes is that it is flexible, that you don't have to really miss classes. You just really need to stay on top of due dates for exams, assignments, things like that, and just kind of staying with the syllabi. If you have an issue, like maybe you're getting married or you have a trip planned, a family member's ill, something that is going to take you out, where you're not going to have access to a computer that's going to keep you busy. That's something that you'll just need to talk with the individual teacher about. I know with military, that's very common. Maybe they have something going on for military. That's just something that you will just need to work individually with that teacher. Anybody else have anything to add?
I would probably just expound on that particular question. It talked about if you were a student, you need to take a break and reapply. Yes, you would. But what happens if you applied, but you didn't come to K-State in the summer semester, but you want to come back next spring? That's not necessarily called reapplying, but in a way you are applying again to K-State. And once we've had your application, we do have that information on record, but you would have to fill out another application for the next semester for summer or next spring. So you'd want to fill out that application again just to update the term and update any of your contact information if things had changed. So while you may have been admitted for summer here, but you're not going to come, you want to wait until next spring, we would have you fill out that application one more time, but a lot of that stuff will pre-populate too. You just have to update your term and any information. That kind of gets confusing at points, but pretty simple, pretty easy to do, but we do ask for you to fill it all out again. Any other questions?
please.
You have one?
Yeah, I saw one pop in I was going to jump in with, if that's okay. So I had someone ask, how are online classes structured? Do any online classes have any sort of live lectures, and will teachers have office hours? So all great questions. Most of our curriculum, I would say, if not all of it, is structured to be asynchronous. So what that means is that you're not really having like class time Wednesday at 2 p.m. It's usually more of like you're interacting through pre-recorded lectures and discussion boards and assignments that you can kind of work at your pace while still being mindful of exam deadlines and assignment deadlines. Sometimes faculty will say like, okay, we'll have like an optional Zoom get-together meeting, but you'll have classmates who are in, various spots around the country and in some cases the world. So usually there's not a requirement that you're having in-person synchronous classes. So online classes are really structured to be, you interacting with material throughout the course of a given week and semester, and then working with your faculty just based on how they structure class. Your teachers will typically have office hours of some capacity, so you can schedule meetings with them, or they'll have weekly meetings. I know for my online classes, it was very much like every week, my teacher has 1 hour for us where she blocks off her calendar. And then if you can't meet in that calendar time, she does like individual appointments with you. So, but that's all stuff that you'll discuss with your faculty members. So feel free to reach out to them with questions, or if you have any specific needs, they are there to help as well. And I know we're at time, so that might be the last question that we take. Really, if anyone else has questions, feel free to let us know. Our emails have been sent. Feel free to contact us at any point in time. Again, we're all here to help you. So if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out and we'll either answer them ourselves or get you to the place that can help. Does anyone else want to jump into any last minute words?
I would just say thank you again for attending. The webinar recording will be sent out in probably 7 to 10 business days. So be expecting an email again from that, but we appreciate your time tonight. Please email us. we'd love to hear from you and answer any questions. But again, thanks. And I guess I will turn it over unless anybody else has any other comments. Okay, I'm seeing them all nod their head no. So have a great evening. Thank you for attending.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.